Hey guys, Dr. Vic here, and as I'm cruising along here, about to go do an unbelievable, powerful workout here, listening to some videos, and it kind of it sparked something in me. It kind of like hit a point that I've heard so many speakers talk about, and everyone says you gotta hustle, you gotta work hard, you gotta work harder than the other person to succeed, and you gotta go, if somebody's working 40 hours a week, you gotta go 60 hours, 80 hours a week, 100 hours a week, just to go ahead and be ahead of the crew and take advantage and take charge of what it is that you desire, what it is that you want to achieve in life. And I want to tell you that I'm not saying working hard does not entail to reaping the benefits later down the road. I know what working hard is all about. I do it every single day of my life. May it be working on my business, my career, my passion, or maybe my relationships, my marriage, my friends, my career, financial health, whatever it is. I work hard at every little thing I do. But what I wanted to say is that if you're someone who's starting out a business, or if you're someone that is in a business, you're an entrepreneur, if you're in a career and whatever it is, and you've always heard you got to hustle, you got to be that, you got to grind it out, you got to do that stuff. I want to tell you right now that there's a huge difference between grinding things out and driving yourself and overworking yourself and going down that path, and instead of going down a different path and saying, you know what is 100% the best of who I am, bringing it to the table, maybe a couple hours, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours of work. What's the best I can bring? What's that 100% of me being there, doing the work, being consistent, and nailing it? And I tell you right now, based on my experiences, based on the things I've done, because I've been that grinder. I'm a type A personality individual. I'm a driver. I'm a task-oriented individual. So for me, I don't mind working 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day. I have no problem with it. I actually like it. It means I was productive. I got things done and so much more. But I will say that you do become more burnt out. And some people say, well, be grateful and this and that. I get that, but here's the thing. You have to have balance, okay? It's like working out. You want to get in the best shape of your life. Guess what? Work out harder than the other person that you're working out against, and you'll get there. You know what? That's true, but if you don't add in rest, and if you don't give balance, you don't get there. From a book called Beyond Happiness, I forget the name of the writer, but long story short, he had an equation in there. I'm sorry, Peak Performance. Let me take that back. From the book called Peak Performance, forgot the author's name, but the long story short, he talks about how you got to stress, and then you got to rest. And when you do both of those, you create growth. So when it comes to your life, when it comes to the things that you're going to do, forget the grinding out, forget the working all these long hours. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to be consistent. That's even bigger. When you're consistent in your life and doing the things consistently, even if it's just 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, but you give 100% your effort, it's a whole different ballgame. Because now you're putting in the energy and you're putting in that uniqueness, the gift of what you have, and it can manifest to what it is. I mean, I just wrote a book, and some people ask me, like, how long did it take you to write the book? And when I tell them the hiccup I had in the beginning, which was 54 days, and I kind of dictated everything and thinking, oh, it's going to transcribe so beautifully, and it ended up not, I had to write this whole book, and I said, what am I going to do? And I nailed a whole book, 200 pages, 75,000 words. It ended up coming out to being in 28 days, 27, 28 days, roughly around there. And the reason why is not because I grinded it out. I worked more. I didn't. I worked about the same as what I did. Maybe a couple extra hours on the weekends, just to get a little bit of an escape to write. But that was it. And I just put 100% in. I went in for 2 hours, and I put 100% in, and said, I'm done, that's it. And I went to go reset, rejuvenate, and then I went to go give 100% to my wife, my family, my dog, and being with them. So when it comes to your life, when it comes to achieving what it is you want to do, what you want to be, and who you want to become, forget this whole hustle and grinding out. If you want to hustle every single day, but give yourself 100%. If you want to grind it out, grind every single day and give 100%. But you don't have to be trying to overwork or overburn yourself out. Enough of that stuff. We live in a society that we think we have to do more. I mean, you look at corporate America, what is it? The ones who work the longest hours, who works more, works on the weekends and so much more, and never takes time to rest and take time for themselves and escape and just disconnect from those things. You're not going to thrive. You're going to go into massive survival mode, burnt out mode, and in 3 to 5, 10 years down the road, you're going to wonder why, man, my health has declined. Man, my marriage is failing. Wow, financially and career, I'm doing well, but everything else is failing in your life. Forget the hustle, forget the grind, unless you're doing it on a consistent basis. Instead, focus on what is the one thing you can do today to take you a little further. What's the one thing that you can do? What's the most simplest thing you can do today to take it a little further? And then do that every day. No excuses. And do that every day in the arenas of your life. Look at the 7 days of your life and how do you factor them out? How are you going to go ahead and do that? You know, today I spent time with my wife, 6.5 hours. It was me and her walking around the city, enjoying ourselves. Then I got home. I looked at the clock and said, wow, it's 3:15, 3:30. I'm like, you know what? I need to work out. I didn't work out this morning. And I'm like, I did my workout yesterday. I need to get my workout in today. So I'm going to the gym. But when I get back, it'll be my time with her again. So what is the things that you're doing in your life to be at 100% every single day? It doesn't have to be much. It just has to make sure that you're putting 100% of your effort. Because when you're on that path, when you're on the path of least resistance, you don't have to work so hard. It's an easier path. It makes things a lot easier for you. It just comes and flows, and you don't have to put all this excess work, and you have to bust your behind all day long. It just doesn't work that way. That's the path of most resistance. The path of most resistance talks about, you know, I have to do this, I have to be there, I have to work this many hours, I have to outwork the next person next to me and make sure I'm always ahead of the game. And if I'm not there, then I'm never going to succeed and be there, and I'm never going to be the best that I can be, and be the leader of what I want to do, and be people to recognize me, and so much more. It's a bunch of garbage. You know why? Because you think that you have to do all this stuff. You know, we live in a time-space continuum, guys. It takes time and space you have to move through to create, to manifest it into your life, to attract it into your life. So if you just give a little every single time, giving 100% of your energy, if you just give a little bit of that every single time, what ends up happening is days come down the road and you will start to manifest what it is you desire. And I'll leave you on this note. It's like this. In baseball, when you think you got to grind out, bust your behind, hit the home runs, and do all that stuff every single inning, you may score some runs, but you may not be as effective in maximizing and compounding at all times. But if you wake up every single day and just want to get a base hit, and that's all you focus on is that base hit every single day, and you continue to hit the base hits every single day, eventually you start scoring runs, and eventually you start scoring runs on a consistent basis. From then all of a sudden, now you're massively producing every single day, and that compounds. It builds on the next. You create momentum, and you keep rocking and moving forward. So I have no problem with hustle. I have no problem with grind. But the thing is, when I hear things about like you got to work 10 times harder than the person next to you, you have to put next to your competitor, or whatever it may be, all these different statements that I hear, you don't have to. Think of, and this is not my quote. Again, I got this from Peak Performance. If you want to know more about this, read the book. Stress plus rest equals growth. You need to bust your ass, but then at times you're going to have to rest and rejuvenate, just like in working out. I work out 3 to 4 days a week, and I've been testing this out, and I sleep anywhere from 7 to 9 hours a day. And I just started doing this because I wanted to see for my health and my overall well-being what would happen. And let me tell you, my numbers in strength have been skyrocketing every single week for the last 4 weeks, about anywhere from 8 to 12% growth in working out. And that's in the last 4 weeks. And guys, I've only been working out for 3 months. And I'm already hitting almost record numbers of what I've done when I was working out for a whole entire year. Stress plus rest equals growth. So if you want to grind things out, be consistent every single day, and that's going to take it to really manifesting and attracting the life you want to have, and to truly enjoy the fruits of your labor. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please click like. If you have a cool story or comment, please comment below. And as always, if you thought this was inspirational and someone you wanted to say, hey, you know what, this would be really great for someone to listen to, please click share that with them. I appreciate it. Thanks you for watching. This is Dr. Vic with Empower Your Reality. Keep rocking and rolling, y'all.